Check, check. Let's see. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I loud and clear? Let's see. Let me go ahead and cut off the music here. Goodbye, sweet jams. All right. So I have working internet now. Comcast literally went down at 1 p.m. I hit go live and yeah, it just ate it. So that was fun. Let me make sure I have my mic. All right, we're on the right setting here. Okay. So, things we're going to talk about today. So, if I switch back over here, we got the Universal Postal Union, PayPal, and their lovely fees. I got a box of stuff from AliExpress here, which is ironic because we're going to be talking about the cheap shipping that got those here. And then also SSRs and why you should be on the lookout for fake SSRs. So let's get started here. I got some PDFs here because some of the sites I pulled these from were they basically restricted how many you could see. Like one of them was like ink and the what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Like the God dang it. I'm gonna try not to swear this stream. So, Forbes. So, the UPU is the agreement between a bunch of different countries to set postal rates, and it was founded back in the late 1800s. And what they did was basically government subsidized packages coming in from what they deemed at the time was a developing country, and China was considered a developing country. So what you guys see in terms of the dirt cheap or free shipping on like $3-4 items from China is actually being subsidized by the US government under this UPU. And what that means is that us, the taxpayers, are actually subsidizing all these parts and other random things. AliExpress sells a ton of stuff to get them over here. So you can see here, there's some examples of people talking about, you know, a XLR cable for $1, or, you know, in our case, an extruder for $2 or a hot end for $3. That postage to get it from China to the US is actually subsidized by the US government. So what that means is, I believe it's September 30th. I'm trying to see if these have the dates on here, but everybody's showing September 30th. We pulled out of it in October 2018. You can see this article is dated October 17th, 2018. This is weird. So it's scrolling in the PDF. Okay. So basically what this means is because of the US pulling out of the UPU, starting next month, you're going to start seeing packages with shipping charges unless the Chinese government steps in and subsidizes those packages. So, you know, if we go over to AliExpress here, let me open up a incognito window here. So, you know, if we go and type in, let's say, let me bring my screen up here. Let's say V6 hot end. Okay. And you see stuff like this, $2.97 with free shipping. Okay. I cannot ship a package to China because we had to actually send some parts to our board assembler that's in China, or Taiwan. I'm not even going to get into that. Whatever. Anyways, I had to send a package over there, and it cost me $25 to send an LCD screen, a couple of heater cartridges, and 2 hot end heatsinks. So items like this, where you see $2.97 with free shipping, they're going to be going away. Now you can see here e-packet, $2.42. I cannot ship a package to China for $2.42. Now what we're going to do is what we're going to probably see is other carriers that are going to ship through other countries to try to get around that but I'm assuming it's going to get caught eventually and they'll put a stop to that. That's what some people are hypothesizing, is that they're just going to route their packages to another country that still has this agreement in place and try to get around it that way. It's not going to be as cheap as it was now, but it's still going to be cheaper than, you know, $30 or $20 or whatever it's going to cost. So the basically the packages are getting subsidized by USPS, which indirectly, I believe that actually should have looked this up before I started. Let's just Google it. Is USPS funded by tax revenue? Let's see. Sale postage. Okay. So they're subsidizing. So I thought USPS was a private entity to a point. So I'll look into this more, because I saw 77 Thibs said it's not taxpayer funded. I know it was at one point, but it's private. But either way, USPS is eating those costs to ship these products to you guys, okay, in the U.S. People out overseas, it's probably not going to change anything. This is a China to U.S. thing. But the point is, USPS is losing money on these packages, and guess how they're going to make up for that? Hiking rates, like they've been doing for the last 2 to 3 years. They had a rate hike this year. They had a rate hike last year, and stuff like this. You got millions of packages coming in from these Chinese sellers that are being subsidized by USPS. The money's got to come from somewhere. And that money's going to come from them hiking rates on people shipping product in the U.S. or other countries. So to give you guys an idea, if I ship a package from here to Illinois, so like an hour, so if I send a package to my parents, at a minimum, that's going to cost me $3.79 for first class. If I want priority, it's going to cost up to $8. Okay. I cannot even, the Chinese sellers are shipping to the U.S. for cheaper than I can ship inside the U.S. So this is basically going to be good for people like us and just any sellers in general. It just doesn't affect the 3D printer market. This affects all markets, because now the advantage of them being able to ship from China for next to nothing is going away, which is going to be good for growth for smaller companies in the U.S. Now, what I can see is a lot of other places start doing fulfillment by Amazon. Like a lot of the Chinese are figuring out how to do that. They ship their product to Amazon and they get it fulfilled by Amazon, and eBay is opening up fulfillment centers. There's actually a thread. Let me see if I can find that here. Let me see. I'm typing on my other screen here. I'll pull it up on the shared screen. So this was a thread here that I had found, and the funny thing is they typoed here. Whoever posted this, I thought it said, yes, September 31st. There's no 31st, but it's 30th. So, but they're talking here. This is a good thread to read through. And you can see here, these are actually some of the articles I had found as well. And then I think I pulled the last one here. And those are those PDFs you saw me loading here. And they're talking about, there's a guy saying that eBay right now, because they have no warehouses. So here, you can see here, eBay has announced their own FBA type process where you ship stuff to their warehouse and they ship it out from the U.S. This is happening. So people are going back and forth saying this actually isn't going to go through. It's not going to happen. But the fact is that it is happening. We pulled out of the UPU back in October. So this is going away. So you can definitely see some changes coming in everything, to be honest, not just 3D printer parts. Like the costs are going to go up. The good thing for companies like us, we don't use USPS to get our products to us. We use DHL, FedEx, UPS, and those rates are probably going to stay about the same. So we'll be able to keep our prices around the same price that we have now. So buying from companies like us, you know, or similar companies in different marketplaces, you know, other small businesses that are resellers, the prices are going to be more competitive just because now the playing field has been leveled out a little more because of shipping. So I believe right now, audio fades when looking up. I'm sorry. So I have the TV here because I don't have anything ever personal on my TV. So I'm looking up at the TV. I guess I could just like use the screen here, like on my main screen. So if you guys want, I'll post, like, you can look up these articles here. These were articles that I felt had really good information on them on what is going to actually happen. So, and you can see here the headline of this article: without artificially cheap shipping, American companies will find it a lot easier to compete with cheap products from overseas. And that's absolutely correct. So that's about it. All that AliExpress stuff is going to go away. In terms of the cheap shipping, which means it's going to be less attractive to buy stuff from these Chinese sellers. You know, you got these companies like, you know, Feistek and Bidtree Tech that can ship a motherboard from China to the US and only charge $18. Whereas if I shipped one of our boards over there, it's going to be $25 to $26. So they're going to be paying close to what we pay because those costs are no longer going to get subsidized by USPS. And hopefully, maybe USPS, I'm not going to hold my breath, but hopefully they're going to lower their prices, and that will be a result of having less burden because of the subsidy, because of that UPU agreement. So yeah, that's about it right now on the UPU. If anybody has anything else to add, I've been looking through this for quite some time, and I wanted to talk about it since it's about it. Literally, we got 7 days until this is going to go into effect, so we'll be able to start seeing changes happening across all of these different platforms and see what actually is going to happen. I don't know if the Chinese government's going to step in and subsidize it or not, but either way, there's going to be changes unless another entity comes in and subsidizes it. And I can tell you right now, the U.S. government's not going to subsidize it, and the post office is no longer subsidizing. So that would leave it up to the Chinese to subsidize it. So, and China has had a history of subsidizing companies there so they can sell products at lower prices, so they're more competitive and beating out companies in the U.S. So they have there's a huge economic plan right now. I can't remember the name of it, but basically there's a set date where right now the Chinese government is trying to make them an economic superpower and take over a large percentage of the world's manufacturing and products, that kind of stuff. I can't recall the name of it. Maybe someone else knows what I'm talking about. So the next thing I want to talk about, I'll let you guys pick. So you guys want to talk about the PayPal changes, go through my box of Chinese parts from that one stream where we went on AliExpress and bought a bunch of random stuff, or do you want to talk about SSRs? Let's see what we got here in the chat. What do you guys want to hear next? I'm going to leave it up to you. Chat. I know there's a delay. I didn't think there was that big of a delay, but apparently there is. Let's see here. I'm just getting some links pulled up for the SSRs here. So I have that ready. I had this, and then I had this all like up on my I had this all up on my screen, and then I rebooted my computer thinking it was my computer, and it wasn't. It was Comcast going down. Let's see. SSR, PayPal, then parts. SSR, China crap. Goodie bag, PayPal, parts, China. Okay, looks like we're pretty tied between China, the China stuff, and the SSR. Let's see here. Tyler wants to see. Okay, so we'll go through. Let me see. Let me count up the SSRs here. Looks like we got more SSRs. So we'll do SSRs, parts, and then we'll talk about how PayPal's screwing everybody, because that'll be a fun one. So let's see here. I sent you a picture, of 2 SSRs. Derek, let me check my messages. Did you send it on my TH3D? Yeah, I got right here. Yeah, so I see your picture here. Let me see. I'm just gonna pull this up. So Derek sent me a picture on Messenger here, and I just want to compare a picture of his Maker that he has to the one I have. Yeah, I would say your Maker looks legit. I've never heard of that other one. So let's go here. I'm gonna show you guys. So let me pull up teaching text video. Let's see here. He just posted it a couple days ago, and there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. And I love Michael. Michael's a great guy. Oh, he pulled the video. Well, that would make sense. I don't think I have. I don't think I archived it. Let me see here. I had a link to it in my social media, like, analytics thing. Let's see. Okay, so if we look here, so he set the video to private. You can see here he had posted it here, 100 seen on a minute. So the issue here is that having a hard time navigating all these screens here. So if you just search Photech fake SSR, you get a lot of these. Now I'm going to show you guys here, and this is concerning because I had reported this. Where is it? It was like, yeah, with an M. So all these listings here, this one, 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 this one. Oh, my sweetie here. These are all fakes. These will all fail, and these are not what they're rated for. Okay. The funny thing is, let me see here. This is $9. Let me put my foot in my mouth for a second here. This one might be oh no, this isn't, because here's the thing. The real ones, and I think this is the, oh God, where's my mouse? I lost it. Here. So, on your real Photech SSRs, you have Taiwan made, the rating, and then you can look at here the line, okay? So thin line has the actual rating, says Taiwan made, okay? And then we've got the fakes. You've got the thicker line up here, no rating on here, says made in Taiwan, or in some cases we're seeing ones that say made in China. I just realized I lost my live chat. Where's my chat? Chat, where are you? Here we go. Okay. Let's see here. Why is this not resizing? There we go. So Photech is a legitimate brand. However, they're a very popular brand that's been copied. So you can see here, this is a fake. You can see here, oh, fake, fake, fake. They're knockoffs. They'll burn your house down. They're like the old ANETs of the SSRs. Again, fakes. Dang it, hang on. Okay, so these are fakes. 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 These are all counterfeit solid state relays. And this isn't something that you're going to be using casually. This is something you're going to be putting mains voltage through. So if you buy these knowingly because you're trying to save a couple bucks, I can tell you right now, the repairs to fix your house or office or whatever burns down with it is going to be a lot more than you would have spent on a decent quality SSR. And I'm going to show you guys a couple. We carry one, and if you want to really spend some big bucks, there's a couple other options. So here, please read the reviews. Do not buy. He's got two burnt up here, and then another picture showing another one because he's replaced them a couple of times. There is another, I wish I had access to Michael's video here, because where is it? So here's another one. I have all sorts of links here. So this 40 amp SSR was manufactured with a BTA 2600 triac. That's a 20 amp triac. Okay, so half of the rating. There was also, I think it might have been on the other page here. Can I dock this in here? Where is it? Dang it. It was on that one that I showed you guys. I think it was this one. Yes. I think there was comments here. They were talking about how over the years the rating is going down. Okay, here we go. So here, bought a few dozen of these fakes for a load 6 to 9 amps. At first they weren't so bad. The 25 is contained a 20. 2 years later, it had a 16 and then a 12. Okay, so today he got a 60 amp one, and we have a 4 amp triac in there. 4 amp rated at 60, but it can really only handle 4 amps. Okay, this is why you buy parts from reputable suppliers. This is why we're very careful with what we select. I will not sell anything that is Photech because they're so widely copied. The chances of me getting a clone are super high, and I'm not going to take that risk. So Mager is another company. You can see here, they're not even that expensive. This is our price, $9. These are actually 25 amp rated. They will actually handle 25 amps, and I have literally cracked these open before we started selling these to make sure they actually had triacs in there that handle 25 amps. You can get these from other places. These are the ones we sell, and the thing is, I sell these because these are the most affordable ones that are good quality that don't leak current. Another thing that happens with the cheap ones, or the knockoffs, I should say, is that they leak current. So if you hooked an incandescent lamp up to the output, every few seconds you'd see it flash because it's not properly designed. You don't get that with these. If you really want to go for broke, you can go with a Crydom. Crydoms will run you anywhere from like $20 to $30. I don't know if this is a legitimate company. Typically, I've seen Crydoms in the range of about $40 to $50. So Crydom is a really good brand. They're a known brand. Galco is a redistributor for these. So if you really want to go for broke, you can pick up a Crydom. The one we carry works great. I've had 0 issues with them. We've had 0 returns on them. But let's just pull up a couple more videos here, or not videos, but a couple more articles here that I found. And you can see here, this guy did a teardown on his copy here. In addition to the parts inside not actually being what they're rated, okay, they don't fill the inside completely with the epoxy. And that's important because the epoxy maintains the separation of the AC and DC in addition to the actual design of the board. So you don't get a potential of your AC voltage jumping over to the DC side, or they do make DC to DC SSRs, but your higher DC voltage that's being switched crossing over to the lower voltage. So in addition to the low quality inferior parts, poor circuit design, and lack of epoxy, it's just a recipe for a fire, to be completely honest. Let me check chat here. Siemens, I would trust Siemens. Siemens is a reputable company that's been making industrial and commercial components for years. Again, make sure you get a legitimate one. I can guarantee that the Magers we sell are legitimate. Mager is a Chinese company, but they're a Chinese company that does good work, just like Meanwell. But if we scroll through here, you can see he just goes over and bam, 12 amp triac in a 25 amp solid state relay. So basically, if you're using anything that says Photech on it, the dead giveaway is if it doesn't have the rating and this line is thick, you have a fake. It's that simple. You have a fake SSR and it's going to eventually fail. I wouldn't even trust them at lower loads. We sell them for $10. You don't have to spend $40 to $50 on a Crydom. We sell Magers for $10. If you really want, go on AliExpress and buy a Mager, but make sure you're actually getting a genuine Mager. Contact them. Make sure that they're telling you it's genuine, because I have an agent over in Shenzhen that gets these directly from Mager, and they are authentic. So, yeah, fake SSRs are bad. Don't be cheap. And like I said, some of the copies on Amazon, they're more than what we sell ours for. So just don't cheap out. Don't buy anything that says Photech. You can see here, there's another variation of the label. You can see again, it doesn't have the rating in the same position, and these two lines up here indicating the AC side are thicker. Yeah. So I have seen the stock SSRs and TiVo Tornadoes go out. They're not as terrible as these, but they're not that good of a brand. Again, they're cutting cost. Let's see what this guy found in here. So this is a 60 amp, okay? So he's running 48 to 53 amps through this. So he fires it up, things start popping, and it drops off. So you can see it just burned up the traces. These traces are not going to handle that kind of amperage because the board's not properly designed. Oh, look at that. It's a 24 amp Triac. 24 amps. So the TLDR is don't buy anything that says Photech. Now, another thing is you do have some SSRs that I saw, what's his name, linked. So here's a knockoff of this is a knockoff of a Mager. Straight knockoff. They just made it look slightly different. Same color. I wouldn't trust this, to be completely honest. You'll see the reviews on these are very hit and miss, and it really depends on what the person is running through them. Because if you're only running 2 or 3 amps, they might be fine. But again, I don't like running, like, especially for stuff that's electronic, I don't like running knockoffs. This one has decent reviews enough, but this one right here, not for constant load. So that probably tells me if I were to buy this and open it up, that is janky. Holy cow. If I were to buy this and open up, it'd probably be just like the Photech knockoffs. It's just that this company has put their name on the label instead of putting the Photech name. But it's got all the same giveaways as the Photech clones. It's even got the little notch in the corner here. Because the Photechs actually have a notch in the plastic. So the people that make these labels, they notched out the label. So you would think it's notched out in the plastic, but you can clearly see this isn't notched out in the plastic. This is just some no-name SSR being sold under a different name. It says Inkbird instead of Photech. I wouldn't trust them. Like, is your safety and like just damage to your electronics worth it? It's not. You know, like here, Crydom. DigiKey sells Crydoms. His links. I mean, this is an old article, so it's probably why. But they're highly cloned. I'm just looking for a date here. When was this article published? I'm going to assume it's probably at least 4 years old. I mean, this has been around for a while. Here we go. 16 amp BTA 16. And here's the thing, too. These might not even be genuine chips. These might be Chinese knockoffs of the actual Triacs. So here, Photech from eBay, 40 amp, blew it less than 25, open it up, it's a 16. And you can see there's no resin in here. There's no epoxy resin in here. This should all be just encased in resin. If you open up a proper SSR, the whole inside is going to pretty much be resin. Okay, this is the one I was already on. So this is the guy commenting in. So this has been a long time issue. The reason I want to bring it up is because I see people putting out videos about AC beds and putting solid state relays on, and then they throw out some Amazon affiliate links to some SSRs that they don't know what they're selling people, you know, or AliExpress links. Like, let me see. I'm gonna hopefully, okay, I can pull up Derek's message here. So Derek sent me this link. This is the other SSR he bought. I've never heard of Ole. I've never heard of this brand, but you can tell they were going for, and here's it's a knockoff of a Mager. It just doesn't say Mager. It's just a generic knockoff of a Mager. Notice how they don't show you the Triac. Like, they're showing you the board here, but they're not showing you the actual triac that's going to be mounted to the bottom. Unless they're doing something weird here with the diodes. I have to look at that circuit more. A little more complex. But this is more expensive than ours. We sell them for $9. Let's see, ANV. Well, if it's SSR-25DA, that's a Photech part number. That's probably just a Photech knockoff. Let's see, 25DA. I've never heard of ANV. But if you look here, here's T-Hood and another ANV. And like these are just your generic looking SSRs. 3.5 stars. There we go. Within 5 minutes, unit was smoking and melted off the back. I figured it can handle a 25 amp load. That's the 40 amp one. So I'm going to say no. These are probably just as crappy as the Photech clones. You know, I guess they're counting on people buying them, and they're rated for way more than people will actually put through them. Ydec? Never heard of this company. Ydec. There's no reviews either. Is Ydec a name brand? Let's see. Does DigiKey sell Twidec? DigiKey does not sell Twidec. Mauser does not sell Twidec. So this is just another Chinese brand that's selling on Amazon. Let's see. Well, yeah, Siemens, if you have an actual Siemens, then it's going to be good. Yeah, you can see here, they're $55. Like, Siemens makes good stuff. That's why they're $55. You know, you get what you pay for, and I don't understand why these companies went through the trouble of designing these instead of just like make an exact copy of the Photex. Like, this is just random BS. But I'm glad to see Teaching Tech pulled his video because there was a lot of bad stuff. Here's just another article here going about the Photex here. Let's see here. So you can, oh, well, you can't, let me see that. Can I go back? So you can see there, this one actually has a decent amount of resin in it. I've had some where you can see the tops of all the chips. They put that little bit. The other SSRs, like the Magers, they're almost completely filled with the resin. Like when I opened them up, I had to destroy it. So I sacrificed one to make sure that we were getting something that was actually legitimate. Because I don't need people telling me that their SSR burned up. I can tell you we've had, let me see. I'm just curious to see how many of those SSRs we've sold over the years. Because we've had 0 returns on them. 0 returns, 0 messages saying that, hey, these blew up. I've built custom printers with them. I've never had a problem with the Magers. And that's why we keep selling them. Let me see here. Let me run a report here. You guys can't see this, obviously. Let me see. Mager SSR. How many Mager SSRs have we sold? We sold over 146 of them. They're not a huge seller because not a lot of people use AC beds, but out of 146, I've had 0 come back to us or even a mention that there was a problem with it. So that's why I keep selling them. So the TLDR is just don't be cheap. Buy an actual name brand SSR. We sell them. DigiKey sells them. Mauser sells them. Mager, Siemens, Cridum, Panasonic makes them too. Misumi sells them. What is the name of theirs? Hang on. It's going to bother me. Misumi sells some really good Japanese-made ones. Let's see. Solid state relays. They sell Omron. Omron's a legit brand. They had another one. Here. So remember those ones, you guys? That AMV? Here's what the AMV is a knockoff of. Look at the color scheme and the design. This is what they were trying to knock off. So, and Misumi definitely sells legitimate stuff. You can see here, $86. So the Chinese like to make their stuff look like the real thing, so people think it looks legit. Omron's also look similar. So those ones that were with the tan cover or the brownish tan cover, that's probably why they were doing that. We sold Misumi's for a while. I don't know if it's still going to show in the search results. Does Google still have that archived somewhere? I'm guessing not. It's been off of our page because the Misumis were like 25 to 30 bucks. I can't remember the brand. I think this is it. SSR. Yeah, right here. Can I get a picture of this? I've used their SSRs. Let's see if I can. I know if my friend Jesus is watching, you have one of these for me when I used to sell them. I'm trying to remember the name of the brand that they use because I remember stocking these, the MS SSR 20s we used to stock, and they were a Japanese company and they worked great. They didn't leak current. They just worked, but they were expensive. So let me see, view part numbers. MS SSR 20. How much were they? Yeah, I remember them being right around here. So that's the cost on them. I don't know if they have an actual picture of them aside from this little one. Okay. Anyways, I digress. Misumi SSRs work great. All right. So again, be careful where you buy your solid state relays from, especially when you're using them for an AC bed. Solid state relays in general like to fail in a closed position, meaning, let's say you put one on your printer bed, it's heating, and your controller tells it to stop heating, and it doesn't. It fails in a closed position, meaning it's going to fail in on position, and that heater is going to just get full blast, and your motherboard is not going to be able to do anything about it. It's not going to be able to cut the power. It's not going to be able to do anything. Thermal runaway prevention will not help you at all. So I wish I remember the brand. It began with an N. It was something. But anyways, so don't cheap out on SSRs. Personally, when I'm doing AC bed, I actually put a resettable fuse, like a breaker. You might see them on your power strips. There's actually one on this power distribution bar. It's like a resettable breaker. You can also get different things like temperature switches where they'll actually open. I'm trying to remember the technical name for them, but we're see if we can find them here. Let me switch back to the TV. Let's see, 130C. So these right here, thermostats. Okay, stuff like this. So what these do is you could screw this to the bottom of your bed. Okay, so this top part is what actually gets the heat and what's going to conduct it. And what this would do is, let's say you have an event where your SSR fails in a closed position. You run the leg coming out of the SSR into one side of here, and then the other side goes to your bed. What'll happen is, if your bed goes past 130 degrees Celsius, this will open and shut the power off. There are some here, so this is NC, normally closed. That's what you would want, is normally closed, okay? A normally open one would be the opposite. If it hits 130C, it would close. You want to normally close one, not a normally open. So you could put this as an additional fail-safe in case of an SSR failure. So at the worst case scenario, it's only going to go up to 130C. And they make these in all sorts of temps. Like, I'm sure there's 150s. Yeah, 150C, 190. Anyways, it's a fail-safe. So if your SSR fails closed, worst case scenario, it's going to go up to the temperature that the thermostat switches. And what'll happen is the temp will drop, it'll turn it back on, it'll go back up, it'll drop until you catch it. So thermal runaway will trigger, but it's not going to shut it off. So if your bed starts running away thermally, your firmware will shut down and trigger the thermal runaway event. However, because that's all still wired to mains, it's not going to shut it off, and this will be a fail-safe to shut that off in the event that your SSR fails in a closed position. So that's just something I wanted to cover. Just to give you guys an idea, let's see, round breaker. Let's see if that'll come up. Yep, here we go. Resettable circuit breakers. This is something else you could put on. You would put this before the solid state relay, and this is just a resettable breaker. So this would be for if you had a dead short. So your leads, let's say your wires moved, something's shorting out. This would open the circuit and you could reset it. So something like this, like when we built some S5s and we use the Kinovo heaters, we put these on there so that way if there is a dead short, you can reset it after you fix the issue. It's not going to just keep shorting and then you're relying on your house breaker to short. The chances are the wiring going to your printer is probably not going to withstand 15 or 20 amps, depending on what your breaker is on the circuit you're using. But you could get something like this, and this will save your wiring and not rely on your power strip breaker or your house breaker to cut the circuit off. It'll happen on the printer side. Another thing you could do would be like, I love these TP-Link outlets, the smart plugs they call them. There's a lot of knockoffs. I've used these, the HS105s and the HS100s. I have both of them here. I also have the HS110, which has energy monitoring, and there are plugins for Octoprint with this, where you could say if there's a thermal event or if your print's done, you can shut the printer off. You can run everything through one of these, and then that's another fail-safe to cut off your printer in the event that there's an issue. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break here and get something to drink. Oh, probably gonna grab Monster. So I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break here. I'll pop some music on, and then I'll be back in 5 minutes or less. So I'll see you guys back here in a second, and we're gonna go over the PayPal stuff and go through this box. We'll go over the box of stuff, and then we'll talk about PayPal and what they're doing right now.
about that. I haven't eaten much today, so I just had a quick and got myself an energy drink. We're not sponsored by Monster. Hello, Monster, if you're watching. I mean, we buy a lot here for the guys. So, let's switch over to ArmCam. ArmCam, let's get ArmCam in view here. And let me zoom out a little bit. Where's my focus? Come on, focus, man. There we go. Get my multimeter out of here. Oh, also, I want to... Alright. So some of these I've already opened, some I haven't. Alright. Oh.
Sorry, I accidentally turned the voice changer. Oh God, how did I? So I have a voice changer now. So I don't know. There was that was my bad. I was screwing around with this one night. I was where is it? It was funny. I think it was this one. I was like,
Sir, put down the ANET. Nobody... Whoop, I screwed up. Sir, put down the ANET. Nobody needs to die.
Ha! Just do it. Use it, stock. It was hilarious. Fuck. Can I just do the whole stream like this? Just this voice? Because I can't hear it.
it's just you guys that can hear it. So a lot of packages. We're gonna go through one by one, and we're gonna see what we have. And I'm gonna double check to make sure we actually got everything. Wait, has it been on the high-pitched voice the entire time? Or are you saying the stream started an hour ago? I think I bumped it. I've got a button here.
I can just change my voice just like this by pressing a button.
Or I can go here. I was going to be like, what the talking about, you know? So I have a self-censor button. But I feel like I should have that really close. Like maybe just like, oh, now it's on here.
I gotta be careful to not leave that on. I should have like the mute, like the beep button just in my palm of my hand, like a little wireless thing. So I can just say whatever I want and not have to worry about getting demonetized because YouTube. Okay. All right, so let me drag my mic over here. Let's see how this is going to work. I'm just going to kind of talk to the side here and look at my chat and everything here. Okay, I got my video. I can see my video. I can see you guys in chat. Let's see here. All right, so 3D printing pen. Let's see. Let me pull up. I feel like I should pull up my AliExpress here. Let's see. What did this cost us? How many American pesos did this cost us? Man, AliExpress is taking a while. Okay. Let's see how many American pesos this cost. This is the... I also have the printer too, the $81 printer. It was $109.39 with shipping. 3D pen. Don't have the 3D pen here. Where is it? Must be on the first page. I must have scrolled past it accidentally. No. What the heck? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this was $14. $14. Let's see what we got here in the box. this is how it came. They like put it in a padded mailer, and I think this is Russian on the side here. This was 15. They obviously tested it, so that's good. I got a little stand. I'm assuming I just put the tip in here.
Just the tip.
Goes right in here. I'm moving my little Stream Deck closer here, so I have my things here. So I'm assuming these are. Was this used? Like, did I get a used unit? I'm assuming this is PLA. So whatever this is, let's see if it works. It runs off USB. I'm not plugging this into my computer. I do, however, have a 2 amp socket right here. Let's see if this works. Let me read the directions too. Let's see. Okay, box garbage. I'm actually going to use this pen if it works. Okay, well, that's absolutely useless. This might be English. They work well. Superman does good. Okay, so work indicator LED, temperature adjustment, filament input hole, power input hole, speed controller, Lord filament button. Ooh, I'm going to be Lord of the filament. And an integrated heating nozzle. So it's showing that there should be a power adapter, except this is USB. So I'm assuming this is the same generic manual for every single one. Also, just in case anybody was wondering, that's burn marks from the testing video. The video keeps freezing, but not audio. I'm getting 0. Let me see what, because Streamlabs will tell me if, because I'm using Streamlabs right now. I wanted to use XSplit. I do have XSplit as well, but I'm not comfortable using it yet. Yeah, I'm showing no drop frames at all. So it's going to be something on your end. We are streaming at 1080-60, so maybe your internet or PC can't handle it. But let's see here. Okay, it says PLA. Got a little orange light here. Okay, ABS, PLA. I'm assuming this is PLA. This is the speed adjustment. Okay, so you press this to start heating, and I'm assuming this is the temperature it's currently at. Can we adjust the temperature? Ooh, we can. Oh, you can only go down from there. Okay, so 210 is the max, it looks like. But let's let this heat up. Oh, wait. I got a jingle for this. Wait. Sorry if that just blew out your ears. I didn't realize how loud my levels were. How I installed the resettable fuse. So the line going into your SSR, take it off the SSR, put one end into the fuse, and then the other leg from that fuse goes to the SSR. All right. We're at temp. It turned green. Okay, I don't know if this is more chooch or less chooch. Okay, it seems like it's faster from the back here. Because I can hear the motor changing. But, I mean, it's melting plastic. And the thing is, it does retract when you let it go. See it push it back? The thing is, this feels really mushy almost. Like this slider is not 100% working. But, I mean, no, I think this is inverted. Let's see. Oh, this is silicone. It's not going to stick to this. Let me put it all the way back. Yeah, it's definitely pushing faster with it further back. So this is faster, that's slower, that's faster. So this one's inverted. Oh, I'm out of filament. It's trying to retract, but I think I went too far. All right, well, let's just, okay, now I've angered it. Let's just try putting some more filament in after this one. Okay. All right. So that was easy enough. I mean, it works. So there's that. I wonder if I can change it, maybe both buttons. I guess you got to restart it to change the temperature. Let me set it to ABS, see if I can get more temperature out of it. What's the max on ABS? Ooh, we can go higher. What's the max on this? 235? All right. Well, let's let that heat up again. Yep, almost there. It won't let you feed until it's at temp. Okay, now we're at temp. I'm just having fun. I wanna have this PLA hot. Oh no, almost lost my douche fluid. We still got the blue in there apparently. Oh, now we got. You know, I'm wondering if this is ABS because look at it, it's feeding out a lot slower and thicker. Let me smell it. Doesn't smell like ABS. I wonder if this is PLA. All right. Let's here. I might actually need to send that back. Let's just doodle on the back of this AMAT box. Oh wait, no, that one's stock box is because obviously it's not going to stick to this. So let me see how this works. This is a mess of filament though they gave me. This is like probably like cutoffs. They probably just go around the factories and just like, let's see if I can make our logo. Or I'm just gonna see if I can write something here. This is way slower than I expected. But I mean, wonder if I can like do some 3D. Nope. Oh no. I wonder, can I peel this off? Will this come off paper? It will. It will come off paper. Kind of hard, but it does come off. I don't think I'll be able to do it on here because it's not going to stick. Let me try to mush it in there really good. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I figured that wouldn't work. Silicone is pretty not sticky. Wonder if I could make a benchy. Let me try to make a benchy here. Although I'll screw on with this. We'll keep going. We'll keep going, and I'll come back to this when we're wrapping up. Because I don't want to bore people. But it works. Hey, it works. It works. I can't complain too much. It works. So there's that. 3D pen, $15. Works. All right. Let me see here. So this, I think, is the clone Bondtech. This was $10, $13.96 with shipping. A clear square of PC or similar in the kit for printing on. Well, you guys saw me open it. That was it. All right, so comes with a nice little box. There's like some sort of QR code on the side here. I'm assuming they put it in the box because they're shipping it. All right, so what do we got? We got an injection molded piece. Gear mounting position. Not terrible instructions. Definitely some renders. Ooh. Ooh. That's crunchy. Let me see. Still pretty crunchy. Let's take this apart. Take this apart. I've never taken a Bondtech apart. Oh, there we go. Is this still crunchy? This is still crunchy. Are we in a bearing in here? Oh. They super glued the bearing in here. The bearing is super glued into the housing. That's why it's crunchy, because glue is in the bearing. Like, this doesn't spin freely. Like, let me show you guys a comparison here. So, like, this is our tough extruder. Look how nice that spins. Okay? Nice and spinny. Okay? This? Crunchy. Crunchy. Real crunchy. I mean, $10. This is what you get. The injection molding doesn't look bad. The gears look okay. There's another bearing down inside there. But this bearing, like, they do give you a bottom fitting, which is a groove mount. But, like, you can see here. I'll even show you. I'll zoom in here. Like, that's glue on the bearing. Like, it's crunchy because there's glue in the bearing. Like, the gear doesn't look terrible, but you see here, they glued that sucker in. Like, why the hell would you put glue in it? This doesn't need glue if it's properly designed. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm assuming this went on like this. Do these even mesh nicely? Kind of. Very, very, like, clunky. Like, as I'm turning this, the gears do not mesh smoothly. Here. So, $10 AliExpress special. What you get. But we're gonna put it on the crappy printer. Actually, I've got a couple extruders, so we'll try a couple extruders on the crappy printer. There we go. We're back together. I see why they glued this bearing in. Look at it. Because their tolerances are absolute garbage, the bearing pops out if it's not glued in. You see that? This is all the way together. They glue this in because their tolerances are that terrible. What's that? It's got to be at least 2 to 3 millimeters. I mean, this was $14. I might actually, god dang it. Let me mute my mic when I do this. Okay. So, anyways, Yeah, what seller was this from? I'm gonna put this back in here. Let me zoom this back out. So yeah, this is. Bleh. They do include the gear, couples, the 3 screws, Allen wrench, PTFE. So, but the fact that they had to glue that in to cover up the fact that this isn't designed correctly, that's thumbs down. So I'll see what they say. I'll let you guys know what they say, and see how their support is, or if this is just $14 in the trash, or I could reglue it. Let me see. This was the Feistek. Oh, so they're probably not gonna do anything for me. So there's that. All right. Let me reach into my bag. All right. This is a wrench. How much was this wrench? I remember buying this. This was $2.54. And this is supposedly for nozzles. Different size nozzles. I don't know if I have any nozzles floating around here. Let me see. They must be out in the shop, but we do have a hot end somewhere in here, so I'm gonna set this off to the side. I mean, we've got a bunch of different assortments here. This is huge. I wonder if this is for grabbing the block. But yeah, so we'll set that off to the side. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Here's my, what do we pay for this? $3.18 hot end. So, and this is a direct drive one, so it doesn't have the little Bowden fitting. They did actually give an all metal heat brake. Ooh, but those threads are pretty crunchy. Let me see how these look. I wonder if there's just stuff in there. Yeah, there are some metal shavings in there. Not too bad. That's pretty well in there. Let me see. There we go. See how the heat brake looks. Okay, first problem. This is for a Bowden, and this is not for direct drive. Direct drive should have a different heat brake. You can see here the recessed collar. This is for a PTFE tube. This is direct drive, and because you cannot put PTFE in here, because this is just a direct hole, you're gonna have a hard time getting filament down in there. It'll probably work to a point, but that's not the right heat brake for this. But let's see how our nozzle wrench works. Everything else looks pretty standard. I mean, we sell similar hot ends. The block feels decent. Nothing's like stripped out. However, if you look, I'm willing to bet this thermistor is probably fucked. I swore. Damn it. They probably crimped these. Like that one's pretty tight on there. I'm assuming that it probably broke through, and this thermistor is probably not going to work. This is what you see a lot with these hot ends, is the people that are making them, they just go through and they just yeet that screw in. They think it should be tight. Oh, that fits. Ooh. Okay, so here's how I assemble my V6s. So you put them in all the way, and you turn them about half a turn. Okay, you got a little gap there. You thread the heat brake up to the back of the nozzle, and then you would heat it up, and then tighten it down. So you want a little gap. But yeah, this thermistor is probably screwed up. I could turn my multimeter on and test it, but I'll do that when we're actually like building this. But there you go. $3.18 hot end. with incorrect heat break. And I'm willing to bet if I email them, they're not even going to know what the hell I'm talking about. I could put like a little piece of PTFE to go between there and there. Maybe that's what I'll do. But again, it's not the right heat break. I don't know if I can get in there and show you guys. I don't want to damage it. See if I can loosen up the nozzle here. There we go. So this isn't all metal. There's no PTFE in here. Machining looks okay. Let's see if I can get down that bore there. Not terrible machining marks from what I can see anyways. Let's see if I can get under the light here more. I've seen worse. A little rough, but again, I've seen worse. Let me I don't have a flashlight handy. But not terrible. I mean, it's what to be expected for the price this was. But anyways, there should not be a collar here for a direct drive. And the V6s, the actual E3D ones, when you're in direct drive mode, I believe, I'm going to look this up before I put my foot in my mouth. I haven't looked at their product lineup in a while, to be completely honest. But I believe they just put PTFE down in there. Unless I'm mistaken. Hang on. The E3D V6 genuine. Because I know when I've done direct drive on ours and other ones, you just put PTFE down in there. They don't have this like little input here, but I could be wrong. I'm looking here on their site right now. It's showing the same one, but they have two different options. I'm assuming which the difference is the fitting that comes on the top of it. Where's their assembly portion here? I'm seeing if they show where. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have PTFE in there because they're not showing any ones that are machined like this. So this is just the China special. All right, well, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not good. It's what I'd expect for $3. So put that over here with all the other China stuff. And I like this. I'll probably actually use this for $2.50. I like this. Nice little universe one. This is probably for the MK8 style. We got a size smaller. Thumbs up for this. Undecided on the V6 because I'm going to use a V6 with one of the extruders and a direct drive. So get this out of here. Okay, this is a twofer. Which one was this? I saw this order here. So this is a $7 Titan and a $1.20 filament sensor. This looks slightly different because the ones we get have colored cables, and these plugs are usually black. See how filament goes through it. Look at this. Just all the other Chinese stuff. Oh yeah, this was definitely used at one point. That's the sample. Let's see. Let me straighten this out. I mean, it makes a clicking noise, so I'll have to test this and see if this works. It's not super smooth though. Like, let me see if I straighten this out. That's kind of hard to get in, but yeah, it's Ours are a little smoother than this, but I think this would work, to be completely honest. They didn't include any documentation. I'll have to see. Let me... Oh. Does this not fit? Are you serious? Or do I gotta just eat it in here? There we go. Just use more pressure. That always works. I'm trying to see the pinout on this cable. Yeah, it's the same on either side. So, I mean, it's a filament sensor. We'll see if it actually works. I expect it will, to be completely honest. Let me put this back in the bag so I don't lose this. Yeah, whatever this was from, this is going. All right, this is what I really want to see. This abomination of a Titan. The E3D Titan design is open source. Anyone can make it. That's why we have our own version. But for some reason, China likes to bastardize them. And you can see here, they do give you a little assembly guide here. But this is a complete bastardization. Do they give you Allen keys? They do. They do give you Allen keys. So we got a little mount here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn the gain up here. Is this any better? Can you guys hear me better now? All right. Oh man. Okay. Plastic nut for the main feed gear with no set screw. The label is already coming off on this. Like, you can see their label, 2 trees. Focus. Yeah, so you can see the label's already coming off on this. I'm looking at my levels here. It looks like I'm good. I'm talking pretty loud. But let's go ahead and take this apart and see. That actually moves. A little wobbly, but eh. They didn't glue their bearing in, so that's good. The teeth look okay. Not terrible. Nothing to write home about. I'm assuming this goes on here. Yeah, this is weird. The other ones go on the shaft. The actual Titans and like the ones we sell, they go on the shaft here. So I'm assuming this assembles like a Titan. A lot of plastic on this, like plastic Bowden coupler, plastic feeder gear. Like the gear that actually goes on the motor is plastic. Like this is rough. And there's no set screw. So it's just relying on the friction between the shaft and this gear to stay in place. But we'll see. This reminds me of like the TiVo Titan. It's the same kind of idea. They like put this over here and offset it for some reason versus going on the motor shaft. Why? I don't know. The motor shaft design works. So, but this looks janky. The lack of metal parts is concerning. But you can see they didn't even center their label on it here. Like, come on, just put it in the center and press it down firmly. Looks so much nicer. Okay, look at that. But they do include the screws, Allen key. Looks like we got all the screws here to assemble it. All right. So there's our $7 Titan. Oh, these are great. These look familiar, guys? They should. So these are a copy of our solid mounts, our solid bed mounts we sell. You can see here, this one isn't even, this spacer's not even pushed all the way through. I had looked at these before. One of these, yeah, here. This one has a layer shift on it, but they yeeted the spacer in there anyways. And this mark here is from me seeing what this material is. I melted this. This is PLA. This is not ABS. So the arm here is going to warp eventually once you get some heat going through here, especially if you're printing ABS or you put this in an enclosure. This is PLA. And I don't know if there was a layer shift. There wasn't a layer shift on this one, but you can see there's a layer shift on here, and they shipped it anyways. And these were, I think, where's the price? These were $7.86. So just a couple bucks less than what we sell them for. If you buy them with an ABL kit. But ours are all ABS, and they don't look like this. Like, I would never ship a part out that has a layer shift. Like, come on, how cheap are you? So, kind of what I expected. Maybe I'll reuse the spacers, but you can see here, they're not even pushed all the way in. Like, and then there's this one that it's kind of flush. Ignore the burn mark, because like I said, I was seeing what it smelled like, but layer shift. This one's not all the way in, and neither is this one. So I'm curious to see if the spacers are all actually the same height too. But they do include some zip ties in here. Let's see. Maybe, Jim. Maybe. All right, so there's a copy of our product. I always enjoy seeing how much they China'd it up when a company over there tries to copy our stuff. All right. I don't know what this one is. So let's see. Hopefully, I just realized I might have shown my address. Oh well. These look decent. Maybe not tall enough for a CR10. Were these advertised as a CR10? They look a little short. You see here, these are silicone bed spacers. I've seen some people say they like these, so figured why not? Let's try them out. Where are these in my order history? They're somewhere. I know we ordered them. What the heck? Where are they? Come on, AliExpress. I need to see how much I paid for these. Okay, so these were sold as for the Ender 3 and CR10. But CR10, you need at least 22 millimeters or you're going to bottom out. And these might be close. Let's see here. Nope, not even close. These will not work on a CR10. So especially once you compress them a little bit, because that's the idea, I guess. You compress these and they put tension on the spring. Or not the spring, but the screw. So these replace your springs. But your CR10 gantry is going to bottom out on your motor mounts if you use these. So I'm interested to see how well these work, because if they work well, maybe we'll start carrying these as a lower cost option. We're on Comcast right now. All right, this was another one. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is the Feistek $11 BL Touch. Oh man. This is going to be the probe we're putting on the crappy printer. Some extension cables. Oh, this looks rough. This is kind of crunchy. And you can actually see the coil soldered onto it. You do not see that soldered on on the genuine BL touches. And this coil is what energizes to keep this pin up or drop it down. I could totally see people like accidentally breaking these very thin wires. No branding whatsoever. The mold is pretty rough. Like, it's not even smooth up here. But we'll see if this works. This was $11. And they do give you little extension wires, which is nice. And the pins are labeled. And that plugs in there. So we got our Z-Min ground signal and 5 volt. And it looks like the colors are correct. So that's good. We don't have black where there's what's the word I'm looking for? Black where there's positives. So, but this is the probe that's going to go on this terrible printer that we have. So this poor printer is already starting out terrible, and then we're going to use the worst upgrades we can find on it. All right, here's another one. Oh yeah, this was cool. So this was the needle nozzle. This was $4 with shipping. And you can see here, let me zoom in on this. Can I zoom in any further? Yeah, I can. Oh yeah. If I could just focus it. So you have the nozzle here that's threaded, and apparently I'm not moving enough. From my infrared. Yeah, so I ordered a 0.3. This is 0.3, as you can see here. I'm assuming this just threads into here. Like this. It does thread in, so that's good. Yeah, let's put that on Do Not Disturb. Yeah. So that threads in like that. I'm really interested to see how this works. So supposedly this is for really fine printing. Machining looks halfway decent on it. So there's like little flat spots there, so I'm assuming I'm going to tighten this up with a wrench. There is an O-ring on here. I don't know if you guys saw that. Little O-ring on there. So I'm going to put this all in here so I don't lose it. And set this with the other Chinese stuff. Zoom back out. All right. Got a couple more. Whoop. Addresses on this one, on both sides. Oh God. I just dropped it. We've got the, I think this is like the Bulldog extruder is what they sold it as. Let me see here. Yeah. Bulldog extruder kit. This was $13, or sorry. Hang on. Wrong one. $13.30. This is interesting. So this moves here. There's no directions included. Let me see if there's one on the AliExpress page. No instructions whatsoever. Okay, so this will be fun to figure out. But this looks like this goes on the top here. You put all the other parts in. And then it looks like your stepper motor goes here. I would wager, because here's the countersunk holes. And yeah, your motor's going to go here. So motor goes on the bottom here. But we'll play around with this. So we've got 3 different extruders we bought for the crappy printer build. The plastic Titan, this one, and then that Bondtech. Out of all these, this one looks like it's going to be the best bet because it's actually metal and that Bondtech looks like junk. The fact that they couldn't even get the tolerances right on the shaft, and they had to super glue it in and screw up the bearing. Open this one up here. Oh, I think this is an LCD. Crushed rubber ducky. Oh. Well, that's not good. Something just fell out of there. All right, we got some LCD cables here. We got your 2 10 pins, and then I'm assuming this looks like, because this is a big tree tech one, I'm assuming this is to go to their boards. I wonder where this came from, though. Let's just set that here. So yeah, the Big Tree Tech TFT, someone said to check these out, so I did. Oh, this is like a cover for this? Whoever soldered this on did a terrible job. That's not even straight. Okay, so these were just covers. Okay, whatever. Everything else looks halfway decent on it. So I'm excited to check this out because you got EXP 1, 2, and 3, which is your standard inputs. And then this is your TXRs. This is a serial. Interesting. We got a bunch of inputs and outputs on here for different things. So I'm gonna have to look at their documentation. This is something I was actually interested in checking out. Not necessarily something that's garbage, but just an interesting product that maybe will fit to this machine. And I think that's it. Let me see if I actually got everything. Because if I didn't, I mean, this is the joys of ordering from AliExpress. So let's see. I did not get the filament welder, which I'm sure Tyler's very disappointed. I got the printer, which I can go grab in a sec. I did not get the filament cleaners. So 2 items are unaccounted for. Let me see, track order. I'm going to track the one order on the filament splicer. Says it was delivered. I don't know where it is then. Let me see here. Filament splicer says it was delivered. I'll have to ask Samantha if they received it somewhere. And then the filament cleaners, it says they were delivered as well. So I'm assuming they're floating around here somewhere. But they were all supposed to go in this box. That was my Chinese crap box. You know what? I'm going to save the printer because the printer, aside from taking everything out, like I open it, it actually shipped from a U.S. address, from some random guy's house. Like I looked it up and I've never heard of the person. So there's that. It was weird. Let's put this. Yeah, we'll put this in here. My China box here. This rubber ducky's seen some better days. All right, so you're watching. It says it was delivered like over a week ago. So you guys better find that. I don't know where they are. I don't have them out here. They're not floating around on my desk, so I'm not sure where they went. So I'm missing the filament cleaners and the filament splicer. All right, let me move this back here. So now it's time to talk about
PayPal. I think you should do it in this voice because, or maybe should I go even eviler? How's this? Is this more talking about PayPal? Let's try this voice. What do you guys think? Because this isn't good. What we're talking about here. Do you guys actually understand me in this voice? That's the more important thing.
So, all right, let's find, where is it? October 11th, 2019. So, we have articles here. Oh no, let the game begin. No, they actually have a voice here. I'll show you guys. Here's the program here. So,
Would you want to play a game? You're locked in a room with an ANET A8. It's printing. You can't stop it from printing. Somewhere in the room is a fire extinguisher. Will you find it before it kills you?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny. There's tons of voices on here. Like, it's pretty fun. So, $10 well spent. All right, so PayPal. PayPal reinstates controversial policy of pocketing fees from refunds, okay? What this means is, okay, you, by default, you have, let me turn my gain down because I'm probably blowing out your eardrums. Okay. You can remind, old curmudgeon, you can rewind. PayPal will no longer return processing fees, which are 2.9% plus 30. And it's important to note that this is for US transactions, okay? International fees are up to 4.4%. So here's a really simple breakdown here and why it's bad, okay? Let's say you order an easy board from us and you say, hey, I'm not really looking, I'm tired of waiting because they're on back order still. Griffin. I just want to cancel my order. Well, boom, $3, gone. Never to be seen again. They keep it. Before, I would only eat the 30 cents, which, whatever, I'll eat the 30 cents. But now, I'm going to lose $3.20. So, the choice is I either raise all my prices to compensate for the refunds and the fees we're losing, or we say, hey, if you pay with PayPal, there's going to be a cancellation charge, which is what we're doing. I wish we could get rid of PayPal, but the reality is when we turned off PayPal for about a month, we saw our sales drop by almost 30%. If we kept it disabled, and let me backtrack here for a second. They originally were going to roll this policy out a couple months ago. So we said, fine, PayPal, they can go get screwed, and said, okay, we're going to remove from the site. Well, the reality is people like using PayPal, and we would have to fire people. Like, that's the bottom line. We would have to fire people and downsize our staff because of the lost revenue, because for some reason, even though we have Stripe, which is a very good payment processor and a well-known, like, they want to use PayPal instead of just entering the credit card. We don't ever see your credit card information. I think the most I see, and I have to log into the back end of Stripe, I think the only thing we see at the most is the last 4 digits in the expiration. But the point is that Stripe doesn't ever give you doesn't ever give us your full credit card number, and I can't charge your credit card. It's only you putting an order in. That's the only time I can actually charge your credit card. So if you don't want to have a fee for a refund or cancellation, then don't pay with PayPal on our website. Use the credit card option. That's the default option. You have to select PayPal if you want to use PayPal, but if you let's say, I just don't want this product, I don't need it, I got rid of the printer, like we hear that a lot, like, oh, I had this printer, I'm tired of screwing with it, can you just cancel my order? Yeah, no problem. I lost 30 cents, whatever, cost of doing business. Except, if that's a $200 order and these new fees are in place where they're keeping it, I just lost over $6 on that non-sale. So I just paid PayPal $6 for the privilege of processing and then refunding that payment. Other credit card processors, other payment processors, they only keep that initial transaction fee. That 30-cent fee is usually what it is. They do not keep the percentage fee that gets refunded. So I'm in a tough spot of either I pass that cost on to my customers, which is what we're doing, and then alerting you guys that, hey, if you don't want to have this to potentially deal with, should you need a refund or you want to cancel an order, then don't use PayPal. Use the credit card option on the site. The other option is I increase all my prices to account for that loss, because we do cancel and change and make refunds on orders quite frequently. And it would be a non-zero amount of money that we would lose from those processing fees that PayPal would then keep, that they're not currently keeping. But on October 11th, they're going to keep those fees. So that's it. That's why we have in our, and I'll even pull up our terms of service here. And we have it in here. I even put at the very top so you don't have to scroll through the whole thing. After October 11th, 2019, all refunds or cancellations for orders paid with PayPal account will be subject to a 3% cancellation fee. PayPal keeps these fees when orders refunded or canceled, so we cannot refund fees that they do not refund us. It's also here. It's also here. I think I also have it somewhere else here. Oh, right here. So if you just cancel an order, let's say the order hasn't even shipped, they still keep that fee. So if you order something and cancel it with us, then it's a 3% fee if it's PayPal. Now, what I can do, and I'm going to look into setting up a more elegant system, is I can actually issue a store credit. So let's say you want to cancel the order, but you're going to buy from us in the near future, and you don't care that if that money goes back to the PayPal account. I can issue a store credit, and then that credit will be on your account, and that gets around the fee. But I just want everybody to be aware, if you pay with PayPal, and that's only PayPal, that's where that comes into play. So let me show you guys. So if I just add something to my cart here, and I'm going to go to checkout. If you look at the bottom here, we have Stripe payments, okay? If you use this, this doesn't apply. There's no cancellation charges. There's no fees on there. The only thing is if something's open, there's a restock fee, which we've had this entire time. But there's no 3% cancellation fee. If you select PayPal and you pay with PayPal and it's after October 11th, or your refund is processed after October 11th, then it's subject to that 3%. So if you click here, our terms of service pops up right here. And that's why I put it right here. It's right at the top. I know most people don't read this, but these are like the general terms. Like, I want to have it so it's right there. You don't have to go all the way down here, which, I mean, it's not that far down to be completely honest, but still, it's right here. It's in multiple places. There is a cancellation fee. The alternative is we raise our prices to account for that loss. We calculate that loss and see what percentage we have to raise our prices by. But it's terrible. Like, don't use PayPal. If you have a credit card, use a credit card. We don't see your numbers here. Whatever. You guys just saw the last four of mine. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, so this is what it is. So if you just Google October 11th PayPal, here it is. So, and you can see, as let's say, for example, we had tried to launch our printer. Those were almost $1,000. If I canceled those, I would be losing almost $29. Okay. It adds up very fast. Very fast. Yeah. So that's it. Here's the email. One of my friends got this. We actually haven't received this email yet to our account email. But this is going into effect October 11th, in line with industry practice. That is bullshit. It is not industry practice. They try to sugarcoat it to make it seem like this is standard. It's not. They're the only ones that are doing this. Out of all the major payment processing platforms, PayPal's the only one that is actively you because they want to make more money for their shareholders. PayPal is actively their customers because they just want to make more money. And it puts myself in a position of either pass it on to the customers or we eat it. But in the reality is, instead of raising our prices to account for that, I'm just saying, hey, if you use PayPal, there's a percentage that's going to have to come off of that because they're not giving it back to us. You know, if it ends up being a problem where we get people that are now pissed off because of PayPal's policy and us having it out there and doing videos like this and making posts about this, saying, hey, use a credit card, don't use PayPal. If you don't want to potentially deal with this, then what we'll do is we'll just raise our prices. And then everybody's going to be paying for it. Everybody's going to be paying to make PayPal make more money, because the reality is I'm not going to see extra money if I raise those prices to cover that additional fee. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't know if the bleep is even working, but basically PayPal sucks. So PayPal's just, the CEOs are just sitting over there like,
Ha! We need to make more money. How do we make more money? Hey, let's just screw everybody. Let's keep all those fees. You know those fees that everybody else refunds? Let's just keep those. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make so much money. Screw the customers, screw the businesses, screw everybody that got us to where we are. Because we're gonna make more money.
so that's that. I think that's everything I wanted to go over today. There's more, there's plenty of articles, there's threads, there's posts on Reddit about it. There's, yeah. So the bleep is working and it's also very loud. I'll see if I can fix that. I just got this program. So I have to manually do it. So I got to set a hotkey or something for the beep. I don't know if I can. Or I can. I just don't know what to do. I can just have it on my, I don't know, my mouse button here. Let me see here. Bad language. Let's just, no, I don't want all these. No. Okay. So let's see. This should work. I can just say PayPal and see if that works. Does that work? Me saying PayPal, because PayPal can suck my big. Hopefully that worked. Otherwise, that'd be really interesting and definitely going to get demonetized. I hope to God that worked. Did that beep it when I pressed it? I'm not using the mouse button. The Stream Deck's all the way over here. I use it for... Okay, cool. So you guys didn't hear exactly what I said. So that's it. We're chugging along here with the printers here. If you guys got any questions, feel free to post them up in chat. Aaron tells me that we should have alphas ready for sale by the end of the week. So worked but loud F. I don't know if there's a way I can change the I'm looking through the settings of the program. I don't think there's a way to change it to what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if there's a way I can change it. Hang on, let me try this. Let me oh. Check. All right, set my levels here. Okay. Well, let's test if the thing works. Is that a little less ear killing? It's all about dialing it in. I mean, I also have this one where it auto-tunes my voice and it sounds like I'm in Tetris. So I can sit here and rap. I can sing about how great ANET is. All right, let's see. Can we use an SD extender for the inside SD slot to make it easier to upgrade the screen in the future? I don't see why not. It's like a cops level of beep. I'm pretty sure it cuts my mic feed. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Let's see. Are we going to be at Earth? We are going to be Earth. Hello? Are you there? I'm a murderous gun turret.
Hey Google, turn on the lights.
Oh, the thing I'm working on, the Wano i3 Plus. Yeah, I've just got to message the guy that does the LCD firmware, and he's going to make us a custom one since we're supporting him on Patreon. Let's see here. They do have, I was going to do like dramatic readings because they have like, I wanted to do one that was like about thermal runaway prevention. Like, I don't know, let's see if I can do this on the spot here and not screw it up. Okay, so because there's like background music and stuff, it's pretty cool. So, let's say you got your new Ender 3 and you got it all set up. It's printing great, but man, I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go and get some tacos from Taco Bell and get a big old thing of Baja Blast Mountain Dew. How's that sound? Yeah. So I'm gonna go out and get that. So I'm leaving. I'm going to Taco Bell. My printer's printing away. It's printing that first bench. It's just laying it down great. But all of a sudden, you get a phone call, and things take a turn for the worst. What happened was your printer didn't have thermal runaway protection because you didn't update your firmware, like I've been telling you all to do for years. And, well, caught on fire, and that sweet gaming rig you have that was sitting right next to that printer, well, it's not a very sweet gaming rig anymore. All the RGB melted, and it's just B for black because it's burnt. But there's a happy side. You guys are watching right now, and you know that if you update the firmware, the TH3D Unified firmware, you can be safe and rest easy knowing that your printer is not going to murder you in its sleep. Well, in your sleep. How was that? was that mildly entertaining? I only screwed up a couple times. It really adds dramatic effect. Let's see. Well, the motion lights work. There's a PIR sensor on the ceiling, and it does work, but when there's me and Aaron in here, because there's usually people moving. I don't see, the thing is, I should really have like a thing in here so I can hear it. I know I played with the program and I know what they sound like. I thought it'd be funny. Yeah, if the MOSFET fails, have a smart outlet cut the power. That's a great idea. I should be back to normal voice. I thought about making an ad. You know, I could just have like this guy just being like,
Everyone knows that bootloaders are made up. They're just a figment that TH3D invented to sell their bootloader kits. Don't update your firmware. Who needs to update your firmware? Why don't you join me in hell when your printer burns down your house because you don't have thermal runaway protection?
I don't know if you guys can make that out or not. I figured this would be a fun little toy for when we're just hanging out and having streams. Anybody watching I don't even know how many people are watching, but anybody got any questions for me? Thermal runaway protection cannot help a failed MOSFET. You are absolutely correct. Luckily, failed MOSFETs are few and far between. But additional protection is never a bad thing. Let me see. Can anybody watch? Let's see. Where did I start saying that? I'll have to like watch it when I'm not on stream. So yeah, how many viewers do we have? Does it tell me? Oh, we got 83 viewers. How about this? Haha, you guys ready to have some fun? Hang on, give me a second here. Dave, I saw your question. Yes, you should be able to use an XD extender for to access an internal SD slot on an LCD. Now, what I will say is because the LCD usually relies on the detect pin and it's always going to be detected, I would say only swap the SD cards when the printer is off. So if you're going to change the SD card, shut it off, swap the SD card, then turn it on. You're probably going to always need to have an SD card in there. Depends on the screen how it behaves. I'm just going off of my memory here. But we're about to have some fun here. So let's see. Let's see. Can I duplicate this one? Let's see. Are the Easy Flex sheets hard? What? I'm not sure what you mean hardened. They're steel, so they're hard. Zero 092319. Fixed percentage discount. Mets. Okay. So. All right. I just posted a code in chat. That's 15% off your entire order. The only thing that is excluded is the Easy Board. And that's limited to the first 15 people to use that code. So that code will take 15% off your entire cart. The only thing that is excluded from that is the Easy Board Lite, because those are still on back order, and yeah, I don't have good margins on those, so I'm not going to cut even further into them. However, that's good for 15% off your entire order. First 15 people to use that code. So have fun. It's a little thank you for watching. Also, I like seeing people scramble to put orders together. It's funny. Let's see, questions here. When do you expect the next shipment? Hopefully later this week. Lyle. Enrique Hernandez says, I'm completely new to all this. If I get your Easy Board for my 3 Pro, what thing should I be worried about messing up? Nothing. Just follow the directions, take your time, and make sure you don't swap polarity on certain things, like your power inputs, that kind of stuff, fans, etc. We do have good documentation. However, I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm going to show it off one more time here. Let me pop this up here, bud. So if I switch over here, if you guys didn't see this already, you really should check it out if you got our Easy Board. So check this out. You can do stuff here. Let's see. Tim live stream 092319. So this will look familiar. So I see a lot of people having failed compiles. It's because they're not uncommenting their printer. So let's say I'm setting this up for my Ender 3, like the one sitting on my desk right now. So I'm gonna do the easy out V2 enable Ender 3. I got a sensor mount that's in the OEM position. And what else do I do? Oh yeah, this thing, if anybody's having issues with the Easy Able not triggering on the Z stop, there's a workaround right here with pictures here. If you go to that link, copy and paste that. I usually run a Probe Edge 30 on there, and I'm ballsy, and I know my printer will run it, so I'm gonna do my super fast probe. And I think that's, oh wait, Titan, got a Titan on there. So I call this Yeety. And that's it. So I got all my config. I hit submit. And what's going to happen is this is going to compile it here. So let's see. Dick E Ender 3. I don't know who Dick E is, but let's see why your compile failed. So let's open your error log. And right here. A million times here. No printer uncommented. You guys need to uncomment your printers or your compile will fail. Hence here. Here's a guy that set his up correctly. We got a successful compile. Mine is in the queue right now. It's compiling. So in a couple minutes, I'll get that. So you see it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to compile. And again, like, I don't know why people are not uncommenting their stuff. So if I open the error log here, uncomment your printer and try again. Come on, people.
Well, if it was actually easy, it would just know exactly what print I have, just automatically. I shouldn't have to uncomment my printer.
We're not that advanced yet. Maybe one day we'll get there and I'll have telekinetic powers on my server. But right now you have to uncomment your printer. And this does clear out old compiles. Just so we don't have a million of them. So I think it's 24 hours. So your stuff will be up there 24 hours. Someone tried compiling for an SSR. It's not going to work on this. This is only for our easy board right now. And if I come back here in a minute or two, then I'll have a firmware.bin. So this will be refreshed. I'll just leave this here for a sec and let's check chat. With an external bed MOSFET for Ender 3, is any advantage of PID tune the bed or just use bang bang? Bed, me personally, I don't PID tune my bed. It's a bed. If it's in 1 to 2 degrees, I don't care. So up to you, man. Let's see here. Have I tried hands-on with the Creality 115 board yet? I have not, but I have been seeing a lot of issues where people's E-drivers are burning up, like I predicted. And they're losing steps because you can't take it out of stealth chop mode. Let's see. Plasma says THD firmware last changelog S-curve and junction deviation disabled by default based on user feedback. It was. I think it's the users, not the printer. I use S-curve and junction on every single machine here. I haven't had any issues. What version of Marlin does Easy Firmware use? This uses, if you go to the home page here, here's our firmware source code, and this is based on 2.0 Bugfish branch. We try to merge in the changes every, 2 to 3 weeks, but I want to test them. So our branch is always going to be a little behind the bug fix, and that's done for stability purposes because I've merged in changes before, and then we get weird issues. So I can tell you the version we're on right now is stable, and I haven't had any issues with. So here we go. Tim livestream success, and here's my firmware.bin. So I can literally just take this firmware file and put this on my SD card and flash my printer. So like I said, it takes about 3 minutes, but this does the compile for you. You don't even have to have your Atom, your VS code, none of that stuff. So yeah, it works. Like, it does not get any easier than this. One thing on my roadmap and to do is to get rid of this and have a bunch of drop downs to select your printer, your probe mounts, maybe even have pictures. But this is still in beta. This was more of a to see if we could do it type of thing. There's a guy named Chip that I've been working with in Japan that helped code this in Django. So we're working with him on that. And this is on a DigitalOcean Ubuntu VPS that we have. So yeah. It's awesome. It's completely awesome. You can also upload your config. So if you want to download, the configuration file and edit it on your computer instead of doing it online, you can absolutely do that. Same exact thing. And then you can save this and upload it to the website. I don't know why you would, but you can just do the online editor and then tag it so you can then later search for it. So like if I just type stream, it'll come here. So there's other people streaming here, but there's my firmware. You can even see the platform IO log, the firmware log, so you can see if there were any errors. This one's clean because it was a clean compile. And then there will be stuff in here. So this you can ignore. Obviously it compiled. This is just platform IO complaining because we don't have the disk set, but it works for our stuff. So you can see it went through, it compiled everything, and there we go. 2 minutes, 30-second compile time. So this is running on our server here. Yeah, it was, the goal was to make this easier for people. I saw people struggling. I could be like these other companies that are just like, well, go figure it out. But I want to take care of our customers. I want to add value to our products. So, and I think this tool adds a lot of value to our board because it makes it as easy as possible. Like the one thing that was hanging up some people was being able to compile the firmware on their computers. They had issues with their computers, something didn't install correctly. They didn't have the right version of Python. They didn't have Git installed. Like there's just a bunch of prerequisites that don't always get installed correctly when you load Platform IO, and this eliminates all of that. Yeah. Just looking through here. Any other questions? We have not added in custom printer support. Maker Matrix, I did answer your Creality 115 question. I don't have them and I don't sell them because I don't think they're a good product because of how they have the driver set up. The alternative when you're losing steps because you can't change them out of stealth chop mode is crank the VREF, which then makes the drivers run hot and the board's not designed to actually run those drivers. So you'll get them burning up. Let's see. If you lose your config backup, can you pull it from the SD card and make changes? You have to start over. You have to start over. But you can like save your configuration.h file, or when you do this, like let's say I want to save this, you just hit upload it and you can save this file and now you have it. You can still save it because the only thing you're making changes to is the configuration.h file. So if you have that configuration.h file, you can do that. And I'm going to try to keep the firmware so you could update with just uploading your existing config file from a different version, but there may be changes. So the best thing to do, if we do have a new version, you see what version the server is running here. Oh, I don't have the TV up. So you can see what version the server is running here. You can compare that and then just go in and make the changes to the latest config file. But like I said, I forgot my TV wasn't up. So you could actually download your config file here and then just save it to your computer. So that's about it. Let's see. Turn on junction deviation. Should I have linear advance already calibrated? I would recommend recalibrating your linear advance setting value or linear advance value if you're going from standard jerk to junction or vice versa, because it's probably going to be slightly different. How come the SKR Mini E3 is being told is a good replacement to the Under 3? If you saw our video, that board, like biased, like completely biased just objectively from a product standpoint, that has major electrical issues. If you see, there's 2 videos on here where we're putting a 12 amp load, which is the higher point you'll see on Ender 3, and their 5-volt regulator is overheating and shutting down. There's major design flaws with those boards. They were rushed out the door, and there's been pretty much silence from Big Tree Tech. Basically, we're working on it, but they haven't provided any updates. I don't see how they're going to be able to fix it short of exchanging all those boards for people, and they're operating on razor-thin margins, so I highly doubt they're going to replace all those boards for people. In the long term, if your board isn't shutting down, the regulator running hotter than normal is going to shorten the lifespan of that regulator, and eventually the board's going to fail. And that's not even considering the fact that as the voltage or as the current changes and the bed is cycling on and off, the output voltage from that regulator is changing. So you're going to get massive ripple on that, which is going to affect stuff like especially the BL touches. There's a lot of people having BL touch issues with those Big Tree Tech boards, and it's because of the unstable 5-volt line. The goal that once we get this easy firmware thing like really dialed in, my next thing will be porting over support of the stock printer boards, like all the 8-bit boards, like the Creality boards, ANET, Trunks, etc. Getting those ported over to our Marlin 2.0 branch and then testing the compile, because those can still spit out a binary file, which you can then use a simple tool to flash. I would love to have like an extension that could go in your browser, like for Chrome, that would then also connect to your printer serial port. But I think that's going to be a little too lofty of a goal, unless I find someone that's amazing at coding and isn't too expensive. So, did I see the MKS? Do you see the MKS Gen L V2 and in future MKS GL V2 in the TH3 store? I wasn't aware there was a V2. Let's see. I know there's a S Gen L, which is a 32-bit one. I have one sitting here. Wait, no. I don't know why I put TH3. Hey, look at that. We're at the top of the search results for MKS. As far as I know, there's no V2. So, here's another thing, since I'm streaming now. Here's the thing. So, the MKS Gen L I tested was a, like, this is, they come in, there's so many manufacturers for these. So, the one I tested was branded Hesai, and you can see this one, it doesn't have the MakerBase logo on it. It's on the back, but this looks slightly different. But they got two different boards pictured here. Like, you can tell, look at the text is different on that one. It's under a CPU, it says MKS Gen L V1. And then there's one that says MakerBase here. Anyways, the point I'm getting at is I looked at the MOSFET for the bed on the MKS Gen L's we sell versus the one that burned up during the testing, and it's a completely different MOSFET. Meaning, I want to test, I'm going to go take one of the MKSs that we sell, because we sell genuine MakerBase ones, not the other brand one that I tested, which was the Hesai, and I have a feeling it's going to test a lot better. There's a V2. Interesting. But I have a feeling it's going to test a lot better than the other one that was in the video, because the MOSFET that's on the ones we sell are actually better than the Hesai ones. Now, it's not saying the Hesai ones are garbage. Those are the ones that are in our alphas right now, but I'm not concerned about them and the MOSFET being weaker than the regular Gen Ls because of the fact that we have an external bed MOSFET. So there's no load going through that. So we're not going to have issues with it. Is there a 2? What's the difference between the 2? 1 and a 2. Just a layout difference? Like, what are we changing and why are we changing? It's still a 2560. So why would they refresh it? I mean, the voltage regulator circuit looks pretty much the same. 220, 100. Ah, 22 and 100. So they put a beefier cap on here. I'm assuming they refreshed this so the temperatures are a little bit more stable. I haven't had major issues, to be completely honest, with temps on the MKSs. I've been using them for a while. Oh, I see the gotcha. It's a subtle difference. Okay, so the UART pins for certain trinamic drivers. Got it. That makes sense now. Yeah, I'll have to look. Maybe I'll blow out the 1.0s after I get the 2.0. I don't think we have that many left, to be completely honest. That's interesting. I didn't know they refreshed it. It's either that or we start... yeah, I think that might... I mean, looking at the design here, it's the same regulator, if you look. It's the same exact regulator being used. They just beefed up. So here's the output cap on this. This is a 22 UF. This is a 220, which is an interesting selection because that's the one I recommended to Creality. So in theory, if this is a decent cap, this temp should be a little more, or your 5-volt rail, which operates your temp and other stuff, should be a little more stable. I haven't had to add a cap to mine. I might throw a cap across the 5-volt pins because there's 5-volt pins right here. I might throw them on our alphas and see if there is a difference. If it is, I'll just ship them with the cap on there. But they're decent boards. Like, the thing is, people got all bent out of shape about the video. I clearly stated that we push those boards way past what they're rated to, and they all work. Like, that's the whole thing, is they all worked up to, 15 amps. That MCAS was a little hot. But like I said, I'm curious to see the difference between the Hesai branded one and the MKS one. And I talked to my rep at Hesai, and they do manufacturing for MKS. It's just they have theirs that is white labeled. So I don't know if they just use a different MOSFET on the bed versus the one they make them for MKS, but they both boards work. I mean, that's the reality. Let me see, because I have the pictures of ours, and I'm pretty sure I've got close-ups of it too. Can I see the bed MOSFET? I can't. Not in that shot. Yeah, this is a different chip than what was on the Hesai one. The HY3403. I think that's similar to what we use on our board, to be honest. Oh, this is a prototype. That's not the same. Yeah, this is actually the same MOSFET we use on our hot end and bed. If you look here, though, they went for the smaller 1403 for the hot ends and the fan, but the bed's got the higher spec 3403. So, okay. I would expect, I'm definitely going to test this because I'm curious to see how this stacks up to the other one. But even the other ones, if you have an external MOSFET, it really doesn't matter what's there as long as it turns on. So, like, if you have an external MOSFET, that MOSFET on the bed doesn't matter what it is because you're not going to be pushing any current through it. So, like, if you use something like this, then this big old MOSFET, like, look at this beast. I love these MOSFETs. These things are monsters. Like, big old screw terminals, and they work on 12 or 24 volts. And the nice thing about these, so this BCTL, this is your 12 to 24 volt input, which will go to your MOSFET. And this is actually a direct signal input. So you could hook these up to an IO pin instead of having to go through your existing higher level output that's on your board. But it's really easy to hook up. So here's your stock heated bed connection, goes to here. You set your voltage, you run lines from your power supply to the power input, and then your heated bed. So this takes all the load off of your printer's MOSFET. So it doesn't matter how good or how crappy this one is. It's going through this big sucker, and it doesn't matter. So, but I think we sell these. We sell these here up to 30 amps. This MOSFET, if you look, this is a Hanoi or Howlin. I can't pronounce these names. These I think it's Chinese. But they're good MOSFETs. They're big. So here's what this MOSFET's rated at. So the MOSFET on the one we sell, let me make that bigger. So on that board we sell, the MOSFET itself at 100 degrees Celsius is rated at a continuous current of 130. At 25C, it's rated at 210 amps. So, but the reason we rate it at 30 is because you're going to start hitting the limits of the traces on the board and the terminals before you max out this FET. So, but these are a nice little upgrade. They're $10. They're universal. They work with your Creality boards, your Easy boards. Like, the Easy board doesn't need it, but if you want to put it on, it's not going to hurt anything. The Easy boards, your MKSs, literally anything that's got a 12 or 24 volt output, you just put this in between your power supply and your bed, and then the wires that are included go to your heated bed connection. So on your Creality printers, like, your bed wires go right into these terminals. You take these out, you put them over here, you run another set of wires from your power supply to the MOSFET, and then the wire that's included with the MOSFET goes to where your bed was. So hopefully that makes sense. But you're gonna have a really hard time killing one of these big old MOSFETs. And either way, it's taking a lot of load off your board. And God forbid something happens to this, you're replacing a $10 part instead of a, you know, $50, $60, $100 control board. So that's just my thoughts on it. I have the same, not the same module, but the same MOSFET chip. That's what's in our alphas right now. So that's what we're driving the bed with. I have no bed current going through the MKS on that board, so I don't ever have to worry about the terminals on the MKS burning up. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff because we're running an external MOSFET. So that's about it. I'm glad to see my Comcast is working. These are still on sale. The upgraded aluminum extruders, these are going to be on sale through the end of the month. I don't know how many I have left. Let me see here. I'm checking my inventory here. Come on, load. I got 50 of those left. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll probably order more. I've also been playing around with a different one. It'll be more expensive than the 12. But I don't know. Maybe we'll carry 3 different extruders. But some people were complaining about the price. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm putting them on sale. So, but they work pretty good. The only complaint people had was like, it's hard to stick in. You have to get it straight in. But there are stuff that works. So, let's see. Let's see. Good stock replacement. Radar South America 4-star. Saber as mentioned above. CG lack obvious install instructions. Oh, well, that's good to know. Yeah, Jim did a nice video here on installing the extruder on your Creality, replacing that god awful plastic one. It's the tension on this thing is insane. So if you don't need a print flexible, this is a solid upgrade. If you still got that crappy plastic extruder, like this is a beefy spring. This is a beefy boy. If you want to go for broke though, well, not that broke, $40. We do still carry the geared one. This is one of my favorites. I have the aluminum one here on a couple machines, but most of our printers have these guys on them because the amount of torque they have is just insane. So, all right. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? Because I know I am going to send you guys over to Jim. I'm going to post a link here. Let's see here. I need to see if I find the stream link. Yeah, here we go. So in 7 minutes, Jim from the Edge of Tech is going to be going live. I don't think he's in chat. Hang on, wait. Oh yeah, he is. So here, after this wraps up, everybody rush over to Jim's channel. Let's go raid his stream. So, because I'm gonna wrap this up and he's gonna start at 6 o'clock. So after we end the stream here, everybody head over to Jim's channel and I'll see you guys in chat. Let's see here. WF for Rider. I called dibs on the $80 printer if you know plans for it. Maybe I should do like a charity thing. Like we have people bid on it. I mean, the thing's gonna work. Hopefully. I mean, I'm gonna get it working. There's no printer I can't get it working. Just the amount of time it takes. But I would be interested in, like, after we have our way with it and put all the crappy upgrades on it, like do like a little charity thing. Like we pick a charity. Definitely something animal related. I'm a sucker for animals. And there's actually a really good feline like community network place here that helps like ferals and stuff. So maybe I'd do that. That'd be good. What do you think of heat insulation cotton for bed? If it's rated high enough, I don't see the harm in it. I've insulated my beds before. Can I extend the ribbon cable for display like 1 meter? 1 meter, probably not. I have 60 centimeter ones. So that would be like 0.6 meters. Is that right? 0.6? Might, no. Wait, yeah, that'd be 600 millimeters, 1,000 millimeters a meter. Yeah, so I have 0.6 meter ones in the shop. They're like $2. They're the 10-pin ones. I'd like a bed magnetic surface for general prints. I think a PEI. We carry those, actually. Let me switch back over. And our prices are really good on them, especially if you compare to stuff like Wham Bam. We're, I think, at least half the price. So we have our whole system here. So we got all these different sizes. So like if you got an Ender 3, I'm just going to assume you have an Ender 3. It's a very popular machine right now. So you can select your size here. You can select your PEI. And if you want the magnet, you can select the magnet here. These we should be getting in later this week. It says available on back order, but you can order it now. And if you want to try our other surface too, we carry these. And then also, this is back now, so if you want us to pre-apply it, we will pre-apply it. You do not have to get this. If you want the Easy Mat on there instead of the PI, make sure you select an Easy Mat and then select this. But here, 34 American pesos for the full system. The magnet, the plate, and the sheet. So, we do have 400 by 400. That's our Mega. These automatically come pre-applied because people, I think people would screw them up, to be honest. So this is 405 by 405. So this is going to fit your Alphawise U10, your Creality CR10S4. These are coming in the same shipment as the magnets. So these should be coming in later this week. UPS is holding them right now in customs. And then the plate. So magnetic plate, the steel plate with the PEI is going to run you $59. So, yeah, $59. And we also have Easy Mats in these sizes too. And if you want spare sheets, so let's say you wear it out, you screw it up, whatever, you could actually add on a spare sheet, so you could take off the one that comes on it and apply a new one. So we do have these available. But yeah, 400 by 400, $60. I think shipping will probably run you about $8. It's going to go priority. Just for a comparison here. So especially on the bigger ones, let's just do a one-for-one comparison here. So here. So let's see. Here. So same thing from Wham Bam is going to run you $140. So let's see. Let's check out here. Let me move this down because it's probably going to autofill. I'm trying to get a shipping. Ours, you just put in a zip code. You're paying DHL Express. So $163, $163.59 to get this to me in Indiana. For me here, if I go and put this in, let me get rid of the bootloader kit. Let me calculate my shipping here. Oh, wait. Yep, so there you go. Iron Wham has Sure printers. TH3 dropped theirs. Yep, they're coming from 8706, and you're getting it shipped from the US. So we are about half the price, and our quality is just as good as theirs. Like, our magnets work just as well as their magnets. The sheets are yeah, $86 versus 160. Maybe I should up my prices. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I raise the prices on these? Yeah, the Easy Flex is amazing. I have it on. Here, let me show you. Here, this is off of our Alpha printer. Here's some cases. That easy. Peel your brim off. It's ready to print. So, yeah. There we go. And like that's the surface finish you get off them. So there's no scuffing or anything. Hang on. Oh, anyways, Samantha was just letting me know it's after 6. So yeah, no glue, no hairspray. We aren't living in the Stone Ages here. That stuff is for people that haven't graduated. So anyways, I just realized we're running over on time here. So everybody head over to Jim's stream here, and I will see you in chat. It was fun hanging out with you guys. I hope you guys had a good time. And remember, update your firmware.
Or you may have a bad time.